what's up? This is Casey with another episode of the show I don't have a name for. Today's shirt of the day is a sweet Frankenstein shirt. So, since nobody asked for it, and it's a pretty hot topic, even though it's about 6 weeks old, is Joe Rogan. Nobody asked me to do this, and he's got about who knows how many millions of followers, and I have about 2 or 3 followers, so we'll just talk about it. I've got different views on him. I remember him being on news radio like 30 years ago, which I thought was a funny show, but he's kind of just like a tertiary character. I never watched Fear Factor, I never cared for that crap. And the UFC, as much as I like martial arts, mixed martial arts, I'm just not that much of a sports person who can dedicate that much of my time to watching sports every single Wednesday and Saturday or Friday or whatever it is. I like certain guys, I don't like certain guys. The UFC has just become kind of like a WWF where I just don't really care. It's just too much boasting and bragging and jumping around like an idiot. My views on Joe Rogan might be different than a lot of views on Joe Rogan, and we'll just talk about them. For just the UFC commentary, I can't stand. One of the best things about living in Korea was not listening to Joe Rogan's commentary. I can't stand the way he does commentary because it just says, "Oh, that guy's getting punched in the face. You know, when you're getting punched in the face, that really hurts. When you're getting punched in the face." At least when I'm listening to somebody in Korean, I don't have to listen to his stupid commentary. When he was doing commentary for a fight that my friend and one of my trainers was in, I think he swayed the fight. My friend was winning everything except the last 30 seconds. And Joe Rogan just kind of swayed the fight, because he gets so excited and gets these huge boners over things. Even though my friend controlled the entire thing, my friend ended up losing. Whether or not that's true or not, I don't know. But here's the main thing. I know he's in some hot water with his N-word usage. I have a different thing. So there was a time where Alex Jones was, being Alex Jones and saying all these things about Joe Rogan. And I don't watch the podcast. I don't listen to podcasts because I don't have that much free time. And I don't care about him in the first place. But I thought, okay, this will be interesting to see how Joe Rogan deals with this, because this guy is saying Joe Rogan's an alcoholic or doing DUIs and stuff like that. I mean, it was just something absolutely bizarre. And how does a journalist or anybody deal with somebody who's making these crazy false claims about him? And he has Alex Jones on. Joe Rogan has Alex Jones on the show. And, Joe Rogan's like, "Hey, bro, so why are you making all these crazy things?" And Alex Jones just goes, "Oh, I'm just a retard." And Joe Rogan literally laughs so hard, he falls out of his chair. Now, the things about this, using the R word for me, I'm obviously not black, but that's a word. I'm epileptic. Using that word for me is pretty gruesome and disgusting. I turned the thing off. I don't know what the rest of the thing was, but I was so just like, this wasn't a funny joke. This wasn't a good answer. This wasn't a joke to laugh so hard out of your chair about. So that's my thing about Joe Rogan, is I just don't think he's funny. I don't think he's worth watching. I don't think he's worth anything. So, well, maybe worth something. to some people. I think what Neil Young and whoever else is doing, good. They're not trying to stifle free speech. I think Joe Rogan probably does good things. I just don't want to listen to him. You know, if you don't want to listen to the person that you don't agree with, that's fine. Joe Rogan has millions of listeners. Oh yeah, the other thing is I just can't listen. I can't stand his listeners. His fans go, well, you just don't understand him. No, I understand him completely. I just don't like him. You know, he does his thing, and he does it very well. I just don't like him. And the whole Alex Jones R-word thing for me solidified everything. So I never need to listen to his stupid podcast ever again. You know, I find him revolting in every which way. If you disagree, whatever. That's what free speech is about. You want to boycott my YouTube channel with 4 people subscribing? I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I think Joe Rogan has worked hard to get where he is, but I don't really care for him. That's what I have to say. The other stuff that's come out, if it's taken out of context, whatever, he still said it. You know, if you dug through all of my old columns that I used to write for pointsandcase.com or whatever blogs I used to work for, and those things came out that I was making N-word jokes or rape jokes or something, I would probably happily set down and disappear from the rest of the world. That's just what I'm saying. Could I do a show every single day where I talk to people? No, I could not do that. I think that takes a special type of talent, but that doesn't mean I don't want to listen to it. Alright. I hope you found that interesting somewhat. And have a good day. Be the best. Bye.